the invisible battle. Most people think they understand money. You work hard, you earn, you spend, you save what's left. Simple, right? But the truth is, the system that governs your money is far from simple, and even further from fair. Every time you tap your card, every time you finance a phone or buy something on sale, you're stepping into an invisible battlefield, a war that's been quietly raging for decades, not between nations, but between you and the system built to profit from you. This is the secret war on your wallet. It doesn't happen on TV screens or newspaper headlines. There are no explosions, no smoke, no soldiers. Just data points, interest rates, and tiny hidden charges that no one notices. Yet the damage is real. It bleeds you slowly, quietly, until one day you realize you're not in control of your money anymore. Your money is controlling you. And the worst part? This war isn't accidental. It's engineered. Decade after decade, governments, corporations, and financial institutions have discovered one powerful truth. If you can control how people feel about money, you can control how they use it. They don't need to take your wealth directly. They just need to make you believe that spending is freedom, that borrowing is opportunity, and that debt is normal. It's a subtle war of perception, and it's been waged with such precision that most people don't even realize they're fighting. Think about it. We live in a time when having debt is considered part of being an adult. Car loans, student loans, credit cards, mortgages, buy now, pay later plans. It's all wrapped up in the illusion of progress. But underneath that illusion lies something darker. A system designed not to help you build wealth, but to keep you dependent. Every financial product, every special offer, every reward point is just another carefully placed trap in this invisible war. The banks call it innovation, economists call it growth, but to the average person, it's slow financial suffocation. You see, the real weapon in this war isn't interest rates or fees. It's psychology. The battle for your wallet is actually a battle for your mind. They've learned how to make spending feel good, how to wrap financial loss in pleasure and reward. The scent of a new car, the thrill of unboxing, the exclusive deal countdown timer, they're all ammunition. Every brand, every ad, every bank app notification is a soldier in this war, carefully crafted to keep you emotionally hooked and financially drained. And the system is brilliant at it. You earn, you spend, you chase more. You earn again, only to spend again. And the loop continues until it feels like freedom itself depends on your ability to consume. But this isn't just about bad spending habits. This is about design. Because when the economy depends on constant consumption, people must be trained to never stop buying. Inflation, credit, marketing, and debt all work together to keep the average person running, never ahead, always slightly behind. It's a treadmill that looks like opportunity, but runs on your exhaustion. And while the world talks about wars over oil, land, or politics, this war is more personal. It's fought in your everyday choices, in the fine print of your bank agreement, in the algorithms that decide what ads you see at 2 a.m. The goal isn't to destroy your finances overnight. It's to make sure you never truly escape the cycle. Because a population that's always broke, always chasing, always one paycheck away from panic, is a population that can be controlled. And that's where our story begins. In the next part, we'll expose how this war started, how decades of economic engineering, media influence, and subtle psychological manipulation turned the global economy into a perfectly tuned system that keeps ordinary people spending while the powerful keep collecting. This is not just about economics, it's about control, and how the very structure of modern life was built to keep you financially obedient. how the war began. To understand how we got here, how money became something we chase instead of control, we need to go back to when the modern financial system was born. Because the war on your wallet didn't start in your lifetime. It began decades ago, when governments, corporations, and banks discovered that debt could be the most profitable product ever created. It started after World War II. The world was rebuilding, and for the first time, ordinary people were told that prosperity was not just for the rich, it was for everyone. Factories shifted from producing weapons to producing dreams. Cars, refrigerators, televisions, symbols of progress, marketed not as luxuries, but as essentials for the modern family. But here was the problem. Not everyone could afford them. And so the solution was born: credit. Banks realized something powerful. If they could convince people to buy first and pay later, they could create infinite demand. And with infinite demand came infinite profit. Debt wasn't a burden anymore. It became a business model. Through the 1950s and 60s, corporations learned to weaponize that idea. They marketed credit as empowerment, as a symbol of trust, adulthood, and independence. Owning things before you could afford them wasn't reckless anymore. It was the American dream. But behind that dream was a new kind of economy, one built not on saving, but on spending. The more people spent, the more profits grew. The more profits grew, the more the system depended on people spending even more. And when spending slowed, governments stepped in. Lower interest rates, easy loans, stimulus programs, everything to keep the machine alive. Because when the economy depends on debt, you can never let people stop borrowing. Then came the 1970s. Something happened that changed everything. The United States abandoned the gold standard. For centuries, the value of money was tied to gold, a physical resource that limited how much currency could exist. But when that link was cut, money became an idea. It no longer represented value, it represented trust. And once money was free from gold, the printing began. Governments could now create money out of thin air, and they did, in massive quantities. At first, it seemed harmless. It helped economies grow, funded innovation, and gave people access to things they'd never had before. But with every printed dollar, something invisible started happening. Your money, the value of the cash in your hand, was slowly losing power. That's inflation, a silent tax that eats your savings without permission. Over time, it became the perfect weapon in the war on your wallet. Because while wages rose slightly, prices rose faster. And what do people do when things get expensive? They borrow more. They use credit cards, take loans, refinance mortgages. Exactly what the system was built for. By the 1980s, the culture of debt wasn't just accepted, it was celebrated. You were told to invest in yourself, to live a little, to use leverage like the rich. Banks and corporations pushed credit like candy. Governments encouraged borrowing as economic growth. Advertising made it glamorous. Everywhere you looked, the message was the same: spend more, borrow more, upgrade your life. And as the decades passed, a quiet dependence formed. People began measuring success not by freedom, but by ownership, even if that ownership came with debt attached. Then came the digital revolution. Money went from paper to pixels. Your bank wasn't a building anymore. It was an app on your phone. Convenience became the new currency. And while that made life easier, it also gave corporations unprecedented access to your financial behavior. Every transaction you made, every product you clicked, every pattern in your spending was now data. And in this new battlefield, data became the most valuable weapon of all. Algorithms learned when you were most vulnerable, what products made you feel good, and which words made you buy. They could predict your next purchase before you even thought about it. This wasn't coincidence, it was precision. A new kind of control, quiet, invisible, and terrifyingly effective. By the time we reached the 2000s, the war had evolved into something far bigger than credit cards or inflation. It became systemic. From student loans to medical bills, from mortgages to microtransactions, every part of life was monetized, turned into a profit stream for someone else. And the result? A world where debt isn't an emergency, it's an expectation. We are living in an economy designed not to make you free, but to keep you paying. In the next section, we'll uncover how this modern system keeps the war alive, how inflation, digital payments, and lifestyle marketing are used together to manipulate behavior, create dependence, and ensure that even when you think you're in control, you are still playing their game.
Then there are the psychological traps built into every system. Reward programs, cashback points, airline miles. At first glance, they feel like generosity. They feel like winning. But these rewards are designed to manipulate your behavior. Studies have repeatedly shown that people spend 12 to 18% more when using a card versus cash. Each swipe triggers a small hit of dopamine, a mini victory that distracts from the real cost, the fees and interest piling up in the background. And then there's the trap of minimum payments. Your statement says you can pay $50 this month. It feels manageable. It feels smart. But minimum payments aren't a gift. They're a hook. Pay less, interest compounds, debt grows, and suddenly a few $100s turns into thousands over the years. The system is engineered to make procrastination profitable. Your natural optimism, your belief that you'll pay it off next month, is exactly what keeps the banks earning. Even credit limits become a weapon. You make payments on time for a few months, and suddenly your limit increases. It feels like a reward, but in reality, it's an invitation to spend more, to borrow more, to feed the cycle that keeps the war alive. Every feature, every notification, every app interface is designed with one goal: maximize your engagement, maximize your spending, and maximize your dependence. And it doesn't stop with credit cards. Subtle societal pressures reinforce the system. Social media glorifies lifestyle. Ads show people enjoying products you don't have. Luxury is normalized. Your self-worth begins to tie to consumption. And suddenly, spending is not just practical, it's emotional. Debt becomes invisible, debt becomes acceptable, debt becomes aspirational. Even digital payments and instant loans are now gamified. Microtransactions in apps, in-game currencies, subscription bundles. They train you to make instant decisions without thinking, to accept delayed consequences, and to chase rewards with minimal effort. This isn't coincidence. It's behavioral engineering perfected over decades. The culmination of these tactics is systemic control. It's not just that some people go into debt, it's that an entire population is trained to spend more than they earn, to chase instant gratification, to undervalue long-term savings. We live in a society where debt is normalized, and financial stress has become invisible, yet omnipresent. It influences mental health, relationships, career choices, and even political decisions. And because most people don't understand how the system works, they rarely fight back. But knowledge is power. The secret war on your wallet can be resisted. Understanding the mechanisms, the reward traps, the minimum payments, and the decoupling of spending from pain is the first step. Budgeting isn't just numbers on a page, It's a declaration of control. Avoiding unnecessary credit, or at least using it wisely, protects not just your money, but your freedom. Delaying gratification, questioning marketing, recognizing psychological nudges, these are the weapons you can wield in this war. And yes, it requires discipline. Yes, it goes against the tide of modern life. But the alternative is to remain a pawn in a system designed to profit from your mistakes. The stark reality. This war isn't abstract, it's personal. Every dollar spent, every swipe made, every easy payment accepted feeds an invisible army designed to control your financial life. But like any war, there are strategies, there are tactics, and there is hope. You don't need to be a billionaire to win. You don't need to avoid credit entirely. You need to understand the rules of engagement, see the traps before you fall into them, and make conscious choices instead of reactive ones. The final truth: the less dependent you are on systems designed to exploit human behavior, the less they can control you. Credit cards, loans, subscriptions, digital conveniences, they are not inherently evil. They are tools. The problem is ignorance. When you understand the psychology, the engineering, and the profit motive behind the system, you gain clarity, you gain freedom, and you take back control of your life and your wallet. Because in the end, the war on your wallet isn't just about money. It's about your ability to make decisions, to prioritize, and to live intentionally without being manipulated by forces designed to profit from your mistakes. And once you realize that, once you see the battlefield clearly, you can finally step off the treadmill, walk your own path, and reclaim the freedom that has been quietly under attack for decades. If this video helped you see the battlefield more clearly, if it gave you insight into the hidden systems shaping your money, then take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more insights into the financial systems around you. Thank you for watching, and remember, knowledge is freedom, and every step you take towards understanding is a step towards reclaiming control of your life and your wallet.